Shabbat shalom. It's quiet tonight. So many people away during this holiday week. How many of us feel like we need a vacation? Adam Sandler, in a comedic take on this, playing a travel agent on Saturday Night Live, explains, "Our tours will take you to the most beautiful places on earth, hike the cliffs on the Amalfi Coast, fish with nets in Sorrento, but remember, you are still going to be you on vacation. If you are sad where you are, and then you get on a plane to Italy, the you in Italy will be the same sad you from before, just in a new place." Like most comedy, this lands because it names something true. So don't feel so badly if you didn't get to go on vacation. The secular New Year is a time in which cultural energy leans towards new beginnings and fresh starts. And yet, we begin this new year carrying so much sadness and worry. The anxious, fraught, and deeply worrisome cultural context in which we live is affecting how we treat each other. Walking down the street, standing in line, or taking the subway, we might find ourselves encountering increased hostilities. The world feels harsher, and perhaps we too are not as kind as we once were. And who could blame us? Yet Judaism insists that even when there are no mensches in the world, be a mensch. This is not easy. So many of us find ourselves more reactive, more easily angered, more short-tempered. We are overburdened. Only when we can find a way of putting down some of our burdens can we open our hands. Only when we forgive ourselves and others for the imperfect past can we move forward with open hearts. In this week's Torah portion, Joseph is reunited with his brothers. He does not know at first if he can trust them. Life has changed him. He has known extraordinary ups and downs. His relationships in Egypt have been largely transactional. He interprets dreams for the cupbearer, the baker, the pharaoh. He has no true peers. He has no family. His brothers do not even recognize him. Joseph could have clung to his resentment and bitterness. He had the facts. He had the power. He had every justification. But this is not a story about being right. It's a story about drawing near. One brother steps forward. Joseph steps forward. And suddenly, the question is no longer about who is right. The question is whether a relationship can still live. Even with the evidence that his brothers have changed and are now trustworthy, Joseph could have remained protected, guarded, and closed, but instead he chooses vulnerability. Joseph does not forgive because the past disappears. He forgives because he refuses to let a painful past have the final word in shaping his future. We are standing at a threshold. The lights of one holiday have not fully faded. The language of a new year has not yet settled. This is the in-between time, the liminal space, when endings and beginnings overlap. It's an opportune moment for setting a new path forward through forgiveness. Sometimes we act as though we care more about being right than about the people standing in front of us. As if we care more about winning than about who we might lose along the way. Psychologist and author Judson Brewer defines forgiveness as giving up hope for a better past. Resentments do not punish the person who hurt us. They punish us who carry them. These feelings compromise our sense of wholeness and well-being. Judaism holds forgiveness as a sacred value, but it's not a naive idea. Our tradition is clear that forgiveness is not always required. Some transgressions cannot be repaired. Forgiveness is not absolution. It does not mean condoning what happened. It does not mean erasing or negating justice. Rabbi Edwin Goldberg reminds us that forgiveness is not about saying to the one who hurt us, "It's okay, you're okay." It's about saying, "I will not let this wound determine the rest of my life." In this current cultural moment, we return to the biblical Joseph to show us a way forward. Joseph does not cloak himself in righteous condemnation. He does the opposite. He reveals himself and allows his brothers the space to do so as well. That moment of shared vulnerability allows for relationship once again. When we choose vulnerability over withdrawal, sometimes people rise up to meet the trust we extend. Sometimes they don't. But every meaningful relationship requires us to take a leap of faith. We must be willing to accept an imperfect past in order to be open to a better future. Not because the past no longer matters, but because it does not get to decide what comes next. In that release, we open ourselves to real connection and blessing. Shabbat Shalom.